And our speaker hails from Southern California, a very small, quaint city called San Diego, California. And a unique thing about Jesse, when he was 32 years old, which was 10 years ago, he got a crazy idea to just pick up and move to Thailand. And he lived there for a year, and even more crazy was he left his cell phone in San Diego. He went 1 year at 32 without using a cell phone. Is that wild? Yeah, so he's real weird. We got a crazy one coming up. But that crazy man came back from Thailand lit. He's just a wonderful person who is so loving and giving and just wonderful energy, great human being. He came back and listed 30-something agents for EXP, and that turned into hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I think he said he has over 1,200 agents. It's like an entire region for a big company, agents and brokers. So you can't wipe the smile off his face. Help me welcome Mr. Jesse Zagorsky. Welcome, Jesse.
How could you not be happy, Brent? Right? How could you not be happy? Oh, I love it. All right. How are we feeling? That was pretty good for day 2. Can you guys in the back hear me okay? Yeah? All right. How many of you were in here a few minutes ago and you witnessed, Gene just asked, but some people are still walking in. How many of you witnessed Gene's 3 napkins? Stand up if you did. Stand up if you heard it. Stand up. I want you to stand up. All right. And now face Gene, wherever he is over there, and give him a huge round of applause. There you go. My pleasure. So to Gene and Brent, thanks to both you guys. You brought so much to this company. And those of you that were standing up, you witnessed something amazing. That was a pretty special moment, wasn't it? Okay. This company, by the way, is built on special moments, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to get actionable today. I'm going to teach you guys. Let's see. It slides up there. Coming up. They'll be up there in a second. I'm going to teach you guys 2 things, right? I'm going to teach you the only 2 reasons why someone will not do business with you, right? And I'm going to teach you BAM FAM. BAM FAM. Everybody say BAM FAM. Now raise your hand if you know what that is already. One of you. All right, this will be fun. Cool. So, before we dive into BAM FAM, I want to get a little story time. Brent already told you one fun fact about me, which is I lived in Thailand. I lived there for a year, but what he didn't mention, I did not carry a cell phone for a year. He didn't tell you I didn't really work at all for that year. I literally worked an hour or 2 a week, and I still sold houses in San Diego. Isn't that cool? And this is long before EXP, right? I had spent a couple of years. This is back in, for me, I've been with EXP 4 years now, but this is probably 10 years ago. I was in Thailand, and I had spent a couple of years before putting my systems in place, getting things in order, getting leverage, and I really enjoyed that year of doing nothing. I did. It was freedom. I didn't have kids yet. My wife and I went and had an adventure before we had kids. And so when we came back, we actually came through the airport on the way home. My wife thought she had food poisoning one last time. She did not. She was pregnant, right? We found our first baby, so we came out 7 years ago. My 7-year-old is here. My 4-year-old is here. And I can't tell you guys, this company has changed my family's life. We're literally here on vacation in Maui, hanging out, playing, and I'll get teary thinking about just getting choked up, what this company has done. I think a number of you in the room have felt that. But the real story I want to tell you has nothing to do with just how this company has changed my life. It's about a moment. Because I want to give you guys something actionable that you can all go, and Brent's going to recreate this afternoon, a version of this. But forward back in your mind, back to 2019. Anybody in Las Vegas at Red Rock in 2019 who was in this room? Okay, a handful of you guys. Here's the cool thing. You ready? Brent Gove has a YouTube channel. Only the back row listen. Ready? Brent Gove has a YouTube channel, and he has cataloged every single event that we have ever done. And you can go watch this video from Las Vegas 2019. Okay? Go to the very first video. It's Gene and Brent, the introduction, and go to 11 minutes and 31 seconds in. I might know exactly where it starts because I've rewatched this 11 minutes and 31 seconds. It's a 14-minute clip, and I have watched this section. Literally, I've watched this, 20, 30, 40 times because I'm very impatient. And I've had moments where I thought, man, maybe this isn't going to grow the way I thought it was. Maybe it's not going to grow as fast. But I've never really doubted that I was going to be able to make it happen. Does that make sense? And the reason I knew that was I sat at this event, 2019, and I watched all these people walk up on stage. It was anyone who had a revenue share group that was 200 people or larger. And it was just person after person walking up on stage. And some of the people I recognized, some of the people were like, these were some of the rock stars of our industry. And some of these other people were just, I don't know, random people. And I started thinking to myself, and maybe this was arrogant, maybe this is egotistical, but I literally had the thought, there's a lot of people up there. There's no way that all of these people are better than me. Like, it was literally that simple. It was like, there's no way they all have something special or secret. And so when I was trying to figure out what is it that caused me to be able to grow this group to, I have over 1,200, I have 1,263 agents in my group today, which is mind-blowing, right? It's good. I'm incredibly grateful. But I don't think there's anything special or unique about me. It's not that I've done real estate for a long time or I knew a lot of people. It was that I created a belief in myself. I said, I'm going to figure out how to do this. Right? Like, there's nothing those people on stage have that I don't have. And if I can teach you nothing in the next 15 minutes, I want to make sure that each of you, by the end of this, has that same belief in yourself. Does that sound like a deal? All right, so let's dive in. There's only 2 reasons why someone won't do business with you. And this is for buyers, sellers, attracting agents. It's all the same. I want you to think, and how many of you guys have ever been through sales trainings before in your life? Anybody raise your hand? Like 3 of you? Oh, all of you. All right, cool. Most of you guys. So relate this to any sales training you've had, right? I want you to see if this is how I've always been taught this. I had a mentor many years ago who taught me this. And here's what he broke down for me, right? He said there's 2 reasons why someone won't do business with you. Number 1, write this down. They don't see the value. They don't see the value. And the second one, anyone know? They feel threatened. They feel threatened. Okay, so number 1, they don't see the value. Number 2, they feel threatened. I'm going to put this in context in a few different ways for you guys. Right? When I say threatened, by the way, some people have been on stage, been very tall. I'm like average height for a man, right? I'm not. If you met me in a dark alley, would anybody be intimidated by me? Okay, that's not what I mean by threatened. I just mean like threatened means if you trap an animal into a corner, what's the animal going to do? Right? They're going to lash out. So threat means someone feels like you're going to talk them into doing something before they're ready to do it. Think about this with any of the online leads you've ever worked, right? With buyers, this is what I'm saying. This relates to everything. Think about this with sellers if you're trying to take a listing appointment. How about someone who sends you a referral? Has anyone ever tried to, like, they have a friend, a relative, someone in your sphere wants to give you a referral, and they go, oh, I got someone I want to send over to you. You go, cool, what's their number? I go, oh, I'll give them your number. Anyone ever gotten that one? And do you ever get that phone call? No. Okay, can I give you a little hint that's going to help with that? So you want to remove the threat. You want to say to them, hey, absolutely, hey, if you want to give my number, go ahead, but I found it works a lot better if you maybe connect us on a group text. So if you want, get their permission first, ask them if it's okay, and then just send a group text to connect us, right? Because you're removing that threat, and if you want to go further and add value, say, look, I'm going to take good care of them, right? I'm not going to make them do anything. I just want to make sure I give them the help they need. Now we're starting to add a little bit of value. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, let's put this in the context of agent attraction. I joined EXP 4 years ago when a lot of people hadn't ever heard of EXP. Different conversation. Some of you in the room say, but recruiting is so different now because everyone's heard of it. That's right. Everyone's heard of it. That's a good thing. Okay? It's a lot easier now. So now the thing that we come up with, the first thing you're going to have when you start talking to someone about EXP or trying to bring up that conversation, and I will give you in a minute an exact script to say to open a dialogue. Some of you came for really tactical stuff. I have exact things that you can say to open a dialogue about EXP. Right? But the first thing you're going to run into is that wall that comes up. If someone's been talked to the wrong way by the wrong person at the wrong time about EXP, because almost everyone, by the way, has been talked to by someone about EXP if they're a decent agent, but it was the wrong person at the wrong time in the wrong way, or wants some combination of those, right? So we want to start to remove the threat. And you'll hear Brent say this a lot. There's a video, actually, of Brent, and I watched this video. Has anyone seen Brent's 9-minute video of him role-playing through calling a potential EXP agent from like 5 years ago? One of you have watched it? Am I the only one who watches videos over and over and over again? That's a secret, by the way. When you find a good video, watch it over. It's like a 9-minute video, Brent. If you're standing in someone's office, I don't know whose office it is, and he's role-playing this potential conversation 3 different ways. If they're open, they're not open. I watched this 9-minute video just over and over and over until I internalized it, okay? So he says, look, I don't need you to leave RE/MAX. If you're happy there, stay there forever. I just want to get your opinion. That was what it was, right? That's what his script was then. And I'm going to give you some ways to remove the threat. But if you're doing any sort of agent attraction and you're running into resistance, I want you to start figuring out ways to remove threat in your conversation. Does that make sense, guys? Number 2 is you start to add value. But you can't add value until you remove the threat. So here's the script that I use. And this is what I'm literally using word for word. I'm going to go slow. You can take screenshots. I'll break it down. So this I got from, where's Casey's in here somewhere. Casey says, hi, hi so-and-so. I've got a business reason for calling. By the way, this is a script, the way it's written is for people that you know or you have some type of a relationship with, a little bit of rapport or a lot of rapport. If it's a complete stranger you don't know, we can talk about how to tweak the intro slightly, but the rest is going to be exactly the same, okay? So hi Tom, got a business reason for calling. But first, how you been, right? I'm gonna make chit chat for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, whatever feels right based on your relationship. Oh, I go back. You guys got a screenshot of that? There you go. All right. From there, we're gonna go to here's why I'm calling, because you already set it up that there's a business reason. You're not trying to get them on the phone for hours and hours. They're in the middle of doing something else, just like you are, right? Here's why I'm calling. I've always respected X about you. I've always loved Y about you. I've always admired, right? Give them some sort of very genuine, authentic compliment. I loved blank. I respect blank. I admire, but be genuine, be specific. Even if your only goal is to leave the world a little better place than you found it, isn't that good enough? How many of you have gotten a genuine compliment in the last couple weeks? Doesn't it feel really good when you get a genuine compliment? Like, be genuine in this, guys. Okay. And then pause, because people aren't used to hearing nice things, so let it sink in. So pause there. Okay? And they say, I believe I found the next level in real estate. Some people say next chapter, I say next level in real estate. Right? Everything that's ever been broken in our industry, EXP has fixed it. And here's where I don't pause. Because as soon as I say EXP, I don't want them to have that wall come up. I want to take the pressure off immediately, right? I want to give them an opening. So I say right into, I'm sure you've been hit up by a bunch of people about EXP. And they're either going to say one of a couple things, right? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Man, all the time, or no, I don't know what you're talking about. If they say, I've never heard of EXP, I have no idea what it is, just go, oh, right? And be excited. Yeah, I used to be a singer too, right? All right, but that's the thing, guys. And so you're going to let them get it out, whatever it is, and say, cool, it just makes sense. Oh, I've been hit up by lots of people. I'm sure you have. You're a great agent, right? Let them say it. You've just started to take their wall down and acknowledge it right away. From there, we go to, so I want to be really clear. I don't need to recruit you. Don't say you don't want to, because I do want to recruit them, but I don't need to. There's a big difference. Does that make sense, guys? What am I doing in this line? Am I adding value or removing threat? Removing threat. I want to be really clear. I don't need to recruit you, okay? I'm just looking for ways that we can link arms, a way that we can collaborate at a much deeper level. Are you open to exploring ways we can do that? It's that simple. How many of you said I can call someone and have this conversation? Raise your hand if you're like, I can do this. I can do this. All right. Cool. There we go. That was like 6 minutes. My work here is done. No, but that's it, guys. It's literally that easy. And so from there, what do? Right? This is where then you figure out what's important to them and how you're going to add value. The most common thing I do is I just set up a time and I push play on the model explained. Brent's amazing video he did, or Gene has a version of 3 napkins that I've watched probably 60 plus times with people. Because I don't, even though I know how to present EXP, I do a live EXP explain myself every week. When I'm attracting people myself, I push play on other people's videos and just watch it with them. Because it's duplicatable. It's really easy. Make sense? Okay? And from there, this will tie into this next concept, right? Bam Fam. I'm so excited to teach this. Only one of you knew this. By the way, I didn't know Bam Fam before I joined EXP. I had one of the guys who's in my group who actually taught me this. I was always taught this as always set the next step. How many of you have ever been told that by a sales manager, always set the next step? Okay. And how many of you always set the next step? You're like, I always do it. Because you don't have a really fun acronym. Now you having a fun, ready? So this is what Bam Fam means. Book a meeting from a meeting. Book a meeting from a meeting. I'm watching your heads. I'll let you guys write that. Book a meeting from a meeting. Isn't that good? Think about it. If every time you have a meeting with someone, you set another meeting or a next step, right? You book a meeting from them. Before that meeting ends, you say, all right, great. We're going to do X, Y, Z. We can talk through the options of what those things are in a minute. But you're booking your next meeting. You don't go into chase mode. You just stay, right, in a very relational energy. This works with buyers. This works with listings. This works with agent attraction. Right? How many of you are team leaders in here? You have sales teams. If you, right? A few of you guys have sales teams. This is something I run sales teams for years that I would always drill into the agent's head that are on my sales team. We always want to set the next step. You're showing houses, right? You're not just going to say, oh, cool. If you like one of the houses, give me a call. Right? Or you finish your listing presentation. Anyone do this? You finish the listing presentation. You go, cool. So I'm out. I mean, maybe some of you who are really good at listings, but most of you, right, we're going to set a next step. So that's BAM fam, book a meeting from a meeting. So you finished that script I taught you a minute ago, right? Let's go back. There we go. Are you open to exploring ways we can do that? They say, sure. Right? You go, cool. I'm about to walk into a meeting right now. I actually didn't even think you were going to pick up your phone. I really appreciate it. Glad you did. But hey, let's set up a time later today or tomorrow morning. Let's just pick a time, and we'll break it down. Right? So I'm going to book an appointment and book a time to go over it with them because first of all, mainly I'm probably in a prospecting mode myself. Right? Like I like to chunk things down and break it up. So I'm just making calls, doing my, an hour touch base, talking to people. I'm going to set up a time that works for them because they're probably, even if they say, yeah, sure, let's talk about it now, what are they in the middle of doing right now? Standing in the grocery store with their kids running around, checking out, and they're like, yeah, talk to me, fine, just give me whatever, give me 30 seconds. They're not giving you the mind space. You want to control your environment. You want to be able to set them down, and preferably in person, right? Brent's beat that into my head. You want to sit down in person. Gene has told me that, and I'm very coachable. So if they're local, I'm going to drive to meet them wherever they are, their favorite place. I'm going to bring coffee early in the morning. I'm going to sit down face to face, right? But if they're somewhere else, we use Zoom. Even if they're local, sometimes I use Zoom. If that's what they want to do, it's fine. Because then you can control the environment. You're going to either break it down live or watch a video with them. Is this making sense, guys? And then after you're done, you're going to set the next meeting. Oh, well, that was great. You want to talk to, I've got a business partner named Gene, right? He's probably one of the most interesting people I've met in this industry. If I could get you on a call with him, he's probably knows more about real estate strategy than anyone I've met. If I can get you on a call with him, would you want to chat with him for a few minutes? I'm not talking about how much money Gene makes, nothing like that. We're just talking about ways to add value to the world and setting a next step. Is anybody like, this is so simple, you're supposed to teach me something more complicated? That's it. It's this easy. All right, cool. So, wrapping up here, guys. We got BAM fam, right? I got one last piece for you. Can you see this from the back of the room? I'm going to read it to you, but is this big enough font for anyone in the back of the room to read? All right. A few of you have seen this before probably, but this is something that I have used for a couple of years now, and it really helps me for setting my intentions, and with my group we talk about, and so I want to make sure as many people as possible have, when I end the session, if you're already feeling like, yeah, this is easy, I get this, right? Okay, I got it. I want you to have really measurable targets and things you can hit on a regular basis. So, in the center of the circle, in case you can't see it from the back, the center is sponsor X amount of agents per month. I forget who was talking about goals yesterday. It must have been, was it Randy? Randy was talking about goals yesterday. By the way, I do have my goals written in my wallet. I couldn't get my hand up fast enough for my $100 Canadian, but I have them because Gene at an event a couple of years ago said, write down your goals and carry them with you, so I'm coachable. I did that, right? After Randy talked yesterday, anybody write down their goals and put them in their pocket or their wallet? How many of you guys did that? A few of you? Man, more of you. Write down your goals, right? So this is what it is. Okay, in the center, sponsor X amount of agents. Moving out from that center of the circle, we've got book X amount of three-way calls per week. What if you have a goal just to set 2 three-way calls a week? Right? What if it's, right? Or one a day, whatever it is. Out from that is watch X amount of EXP videos with new agents per day. What we're doing is we're moving from the center of the circle out, is we're taking the barrier down in terms of the skill set that you need. If you're brand new at this, start from the very outside. You're going to send X amount of outbound messages a day. Because even if you have no real estate sales experience, no sales experience, period, you don't know how to speak any languages at all. You can draw pictures. You can still mash the keys and hit emojis and send out text messages. Okay? But as your skills get better, you go from there one level in, which is have X amount of EXP conversations a day. From there, we go to watch X amount of EXP videos with new agents per day. Right? And then as your skills get better, you could wave your magic wand and say, I'm going to book 2 three-way calls this week. Does this make sense, guys? So take this, if you already know this, you're like, good, I'm got this. Go share this back with the people that you have brought to this company, right? Share it with people who don't know the company. This is what I love about this company truly, is that a rising tide raises all boats. And it's fun to say that being here in Maui, because we're literally sitting outside with my family on the beach and all your families hanging out, watching the tide raise boats up and down. So here's how we'll pull it all together, guys. If you've never watched I got music from the front. No. If you've never watched a group of random strangers walk across the stage and all do this thing that you want to do and just watch them one at a time, right? And you're like, oh, I could do that. I challenge you to go back and, Brent's going to do it later today. He's going to have people in the room stand up and you can just do it live here in the room. But if you want a recorded version, I want you to go watch. It's probably one of the most excruciatingly boring videos I've ever seen because it's just name. And I'm sitting there going, I'm getting really frustrated because I'm like, I just want to go do this, right? I think I can get it there. I can do this. So, guys, if you want to take on a challenge, go watch this 14-minute video and go watch it every day for a week. And I challenge you to think that, like, there's no way in your head you can't possibly think at that point those people on stage have something that you don't have. Does that make sense? Every single one of you in this room can at least build what I've built, if not bigger, and we're all in this together. So I want you to know that I believe in you guys probably more than you believe in yourselves. Right? Some of you already have a good belief system, but some of you guys, right? Everybody stand up for just a minute before we wrap here. Everybody stand up, right? And just turn to the person next to you and be like, you got this. I just want you to turn to someone and be like, you got this. All right, guys? You got this. You got this, right? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We'll bring up our next speaker. Have a great day, guys.